The McLaren 720S is spectacular to look at and stunning to drive, with performance potential that's not far removed from the firm's P1 hypercar. The 720S definitely offers more visual drama than the 650S provided, and takes McLaren Automotive forward in leaps and bounds in other areas too. The expensive, bespoke feel of the interior is much improved, and the infotainment is improved. Phenomenal performance is a given, but the superlative ride quality and relaxing nature of the car when cruising, plus a dash of genuine practicality, mean it has daily driver credentials too. There's a clear family resemblance, but the 720S is markedly more flamboyant in style than car it replaced. That's in part a response to feedback from some quarters that owners want more reasons to be noticed when spending £200,000 plus on a supercar. The new body, now made of aluminium and carbon fiber, features an unmistakable new teardrop-shaped cabin profile, with slender rear pillars made possible by the rigid monocage 2 structure. The new car's nose is swoopier, with the LED driving lights now a straight line instead of the 650S's McLaren swoosh, and the old car's side air intakes have disappeared too. Or at least they've disappeared from sight, as clever design means airflow is now channeled to the engine via ducting built into the doors. Speaking of the doors, they've been modified too, with cutouts in the roof allowing you to step over the sill and down into the car, rather than having to duck under the roof panel. The sill is lower with monocage 2 also, and collectively the changes mean the 720S is easier to get into. Once inside, you'll find an interior dominated by a central binnacle-style instrument pod, that has an unusual, some might say gimmicky, trick up its sleeve. The whole instrument pack tips forward for track cues, so you only get to see the edge of the dials, with only essential info like revs, gear and speed provided. McLaren says this aids driver focus, and improves driver sightlines across the bonnet. As for the interior ambience, it's safe to say the 720S has lifted McLaren up a notch. The doors and seats are beautifully trimmed in soft, tactile leather, and switchgear has a bespoke machined finish that feels suitably opulent and exclusive. When McLaren Automotive launched its road car line, the firm's in-house Iris infotainment system looked novel, but was awkward, impractical and underdeveloped. You wouldn't say the same of the latest system in the 720S, which has been developed with help from an outside third party. You still get a big portrait-orientated central touchscreen, but it's now pleasant to use and decently intuitive. It's still some way off being as slick as a mass-produced rival system like BMW's iDrive. As well as sat-nav, phone connectivity and a high-quality audio system, you also get to play with a track telemetry system that lets you download your data. The McLaren 2-seat provides comfortable interior space for all but the tallest occupants, who will find the accommodation acceptable but not exceptional. Everyone else should find their perfect driving position with ease, thanks partly to the wide range of adjustment of the steering wheel. When it comes to seat choices, make sure you try before you buy. The sports seats have fixed backrests, which are rather upright, and while they grip you tightly you'll be able to jump in and out more easily with the standard items. The McLaren Super Series designation means this is a car designed to offer enthusiastic drivers an extreme level of road car performance, and as such its ride is more taut than models in the Sports Series. Still, the superlative setup of the firm's actively interconnected hydraulic damping system means that in normal mode the car soaks up bumps with more finesse than many mere GT cars. The 4.0-liter engine situated behind the seats is a reworked version of the company's familiar V8. Its twin-scroll turbos are designed to minimize lag, but there's still a moment when they're spooling up from rest that makes you aware you're being forced to wait for the real action. And to some extent you are, but you've barely time to recognize the fact before boost builds and you're on a rocket ship ride that races you to 62 miles per hour in a shocking 2.8 seconds. The McLaren 720S is pretty compact by supercar standards, measuring 4,543 mm nose to tail, which is barely longer than a Porsche 911. It's noticeably wider than the Porsche at 1,930 mm, but the McLaren takes up less space on the road than a Ferrari 488 GTB. The McLaren has two boot areas. The one at the front will swallow 150 liters of luggage, and another at the back that will take a total of 210 liters. Pack wisely with soft bags, and it's surprising how much you can cram in. Don't expect to be able to carry anything bulky, though. There's a standard 3-year, unlimited mileage warranty across the entire McLaren lineup. You can extend cover to cars up to 12 years old too.